This is a video commentary for a fellow named Russ, who is designing and building one of these Kettlewell resonant covers. And so some of this information is for the public, for you to understand the invention, and then part of it is detailed guidance to Russ on some input on his earliest and first prototype design. I'll explain the concept to you again. Covers have a variety of functions. There's something to hold, and of course they protect the reeds and the breath savers from being touched, but they also have an acoustic function. And in this case, the acoustic function is to shove the sound this way. But they are not acoustically active in the same way that a trumpet might be, where sound wave after sound wave multiply upon itself to make a creamy sound. And so the concept is to shape a cover out of something where there are channels that resemble the bell of a trumpet, but much smaller, and of course only half the bell of the trumpet. And those would be cut and then shaped and fit onto the harmonica. And on both sides. I'm working with aged acrylic, and Russ is working with a AutoCAD and CNC machine, I believe, out of a variety of materials. What I'd like to do now is to shift and speak to Russ and give him some thoughts here. By the way, I very much appreciate his interest and his talent. He's a very gifted individual and very bright and a professional machinist. So I'm real excited for him. Okay, now Russ, here's what I have to say. Your initial design is really masterful in a lot of ways. You do have the tines coming down here properly, which of course will be touching the reed plate. However, and your overall shaping looked from the bottom is correct, but there's some areas that aren't correct. As an example, this is not to be a horizontal edge, but instead this top of the cover would be arced. And so this is going to be arced and a lot thicker. You can see how fat mine is to start with, because I'm going to be putting channels in there which will act like the bell of a trumpet that have a height approaching ½ inch. So you're going to need to go with material 3 to 4 times thicker than this is, giving it a slight curvature, because the hands at rest, if you hold them out, you have a curve in your hands. It's never flat. So there will be a curvature, much thicker, and very deep channels. Of course, to go into more detail, this being right here would be the portion which is nearest to the mouthpiece, and this section here, of course, is the back of the unit. And it is correct that they have to be the same width at the back where the sound comes out as they do here, because those reeds are all active and they're firing, and you can't cut them off by doing this. So we cannot duplicate the shaping like a V of a trumpet as far as width goes, but we can do it with height. And so there has to be a gradual increase in height of the chamber from low here at the mouthpiece, and when I say low, maybe under a ½ inch, maybe an 1/8 of an inch, and then going up to a ½ inch here. So this shape here would go from fairly narrow at the mouthpiece to quite a bit, maybe double the height by the back of the cover. And again, to cover that point again, these sound active chambers, as you've designed it, they do need to be the same width at the mouthpiece as they are at the back of the instrument. Boy, that was nice how I touched it and it worked. So it is true that they have to have the same width, because those reeds sit like this, and you know you can't make a V shape like a trumpet on the width because there's reeds. But you can go gradually from a short height of the chamber to a much higher one. And of course, by the time you get to here, okay, by the time you get to the back, you're going to have a curvature like this. It's going to be almost half round, okay? By the time you get to the back. Here, it's going to be more like this. See, much less pronounced. Okay, so you've got an increase, you know, to a much higher, you know, hole. So this might again measure 1/8 of an inch and this 1/2 inch. Okay, you've got an overhang on your cover of 1/4 inch-ish. That's a good design. Overall, again, it's very, very nice, but they're going to have to be much thicker because you're going to have to be creating here this arc, this half a trumpet shape. You're going to need a lot more material to cut in, but that's okay. So yeah, this harp's going to go from about like that with the comb to about like that with the covers. It's going to be a pretty thick sandwich by the time you're all done. But again, and I'm going to back up here and come to here. Hopefully I can flip this and be here. So the whole point is to duplicate the acoustic dynamics of a trumpet, which are gradually increasing area that is smooth and where the sound waves can work upon each other to make a smooth tone. So again, this is a fabulous start. It was just the first one. Get an opening at the back that's more like this and shallower near the mouthpiece. So of course it will go like this. See, that's what the shape is from here at the mouthpiece to the back of the harp, like that. And we'll get a part of what a trumpet does. Not the whole thing, but a part of it. I hope that this input is valuable. Again, it was a fantastic first design.